Hello and welcome to my first Minecraft tutorial for Feed the Beast Monster. Today it's going to be a nuclear reactor controlled by a turtle. The benefits of doing it this way are the nuclear reactor runs safer, it won't overheat, and it's compact, small footprint, and I'm going to show you how to build it now. Okay, so I've arranged these into different heights so you can see what's on each layer. So you want to start off with an area 3 by 4. It can be smaller, but this is the way to sort of get the minimum protection on each side in case it does go off. So you want to start off with that size, and as you can see, start off with your reinforced stone. You can use any sort of reinforced block as long as it's strong enough to stop a nuke. Reinforced stone and thermal expansion hardened glass I've used, which I am told is just as good as reinforced glass. So we'll use this so we can see what's going on inside. And you want to dig a hole here if this reinforced stone is your entrance. You want to dig a hole here for your wires. I'm using gold because I'm only going to be using an MFE, if I can say that right. So we have that sorted. Now we'll come over here, have a look at this one. You'll want to put a cable here. As I said, this can be a gold cable or it can be a fibre cable. Gold's fine for us because we're using an MFE, but if you want to use like a MFSU perhaps, then you'll need this or some high voltage cable. So let's just build that up round. And something that's not in here yet, so I can show you the wire, is the construction foam. So if you have like a CF sprayer or something, that'll be handy. You just want to put that over your wire there. You'll see why later on. And you put your energy storage device in here, and then we're just going to grab a wrench. And we're going to switch this to face downwards towards that wire. And also very importantly, we're going to set this to emit if full down there. Okay, and now we're going to get to the nuclear reactor part. For this design you'll need 2 nuclear reactors. So place one there, and just a regular turtle will do here. This guy's already set up for it, so I'll just terminate his program. Now once we finish off these, we can get going on the top and I can start showing you some of the programming. And the link for, well, the code for the turtle will be in the description, so you can pastebin that onto your turtles and download the functions. So basically we're just going to cover the top up here and stick a lever on the front. Now the lever's actually for the door, but it also serves a purpose if you build a setup like that. And the code that I've written for the turtle actually requires this. So we're just going to get a redstone torch, and we will put that above the turtle. And then of course you can seal it in if you want, if you're worried about explosions and that kind. Okay, so in here I'm going to show you the startup, if I can spell it right. So it's just a simple while loop in here. and inside that while loop is another loop saying while the redstone signal is on the top, run the reactor program, and then just rest for half a second and just loop that every half a second. So let's have a look at the reactor code. Okay, so this is where you want to set your cycle time. If you have a different cycle time, then you'll want to put that in here. So if you're using, say, quad uranium cells, it's going to be a much lower time. We're just going to be using single uranium cells, 18 of them, which gives quite enough power for this. You'll see in a bit. So we'll just have a quick run through the code here, and you'll see this is asking if there's not a redstone signal on the bottom, then perform the code. And if you remember, we switched this to emit when full, so it should be running this code until the MFE on the bottom is full, meaning the whole power line is backed up. So what we're going to do is select slot number 1. So that selects this here, and it's going to suck from the MFE below, and it's going to use the item that is sucked. So that will be our electric wrench, and it's very important that you put this into the lossless mode. I've just cleared that. So by default on Feed the Beast Monster it's M to change it, but that's conflicting with something else, so I just changed mine to right shift. So you want to hold that and right click. Let's turn it into lossless mode. So put that in slot 1 and put your second nuclear reactor in slot 2. This is so that it can recognize what it's breaking in front of it. There is probably a way to get around that, just using one, where you could compare the block and store it somehow. I'm not sure, but this is the way that I've done it. So you need an extra nuclear reactor there, and here you'll need 18 uranium cells. And it's great now that these stack, because we can do this effectively. And as long as these all have the damage values, they keep stacking. So that's how you want to have your slot set up. Wrench in lossless mode, nuclear reactor, and 18 fuel rods, or however many you want to use in your system. So on here, first things, it'll pluck whatever's in the MFE, which will be that, and then it'll suck any straggling items that are in the chamber from in front, above, and below. It's going to select slot 2. So it's broken the nuclear reactor. It's going to suck it, and it's going to replace it down. And this is the key part, because this is what allows it to run all the way up to max temp, and then it's cooled by the turtle when it's wrenched. So you place the nuclear reactor back down, and then it's going to select all the fuel rods, drop them into it, select the wrench, drop it into the MFE to recharge, because it uses almost the whole charge in lossless mode, and then it's going to set the output for redstone on the front to true, and it'll rest for 10 seconds, hour cycles for on here. So however long you set the cycle for, that's how long it'll rest here. And then it'll turn off the redstone, pull the electric wrench out, use the electric wrench, sleep, then suck up anything in the chamber, and that's just in case the computer crashes or server goes down. We're gonna use the wrench before and after the operation, so that you don't have any unwanted explosions. Okay, so let's have a look at it in action. So we're going to use reboot, we're also going to set it to day so we can see. You can see every time it runs it gets about 60,000 EU. And it recharges the electric wrench. And you see, just shy of 60,000 that time. And if we can get a look in here, you'll see it's waiting for the 10 seconds to be up while it runs a nuclear reactor. And then it should pull the electric wrench out, use it, suck the nuclear reactor back up and the fuel rods, and then replace them. And this way you can run the nuclear reactor all the way up to the temp. I think this one takes about 12 seconds to get to max heat, so we're giving it a bit of leeway. As you can see, you can run that for ages and it'll not have any problems. It's generating a decent amount of electricity, or EU. So I've left this one running the whole time, and it's clocked at quite a lot, 12, 13 million almost. And this is what I like to call a, I don't know what I like to call it, but it's certainly angry looking. Now you see, it can recharge these lossless wrenches from almost flat as well in the short time. So basically this is an 8-cell unit, you see in the windows on top. Just copying that design over there into a little chamber array. I've got them all linked up to this, so once the redstone torch goes off there, or it comes on, it'll let the turtle know that it's allowed to run the code, and this isn't full, so it'll still run. And let's just check that this is empty. We can just check that one. So we'll turn them on. See, it's placed it, it's using it, and we are generating a ton of power. Each of those generates 360 EU a tick, and they're only off for 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds. So on average it's going to be about 200 EU per tick. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, but that's still a fair chunk of EU for a safe reactor, especially when you add it up over these numbers, and you're not having to use any quads or joules, so you're saving on copper or any of the materials you need to make them. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or any suggestions for tutorials or things you want to see in the series, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you'd like, give the video a thumbs up. Favourite, share it, do whatever you need to do. And hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.